Quick, simple, in and out for today's anime. Set in a more rural Japan location, a daughter and her father venture into the top of a hill, mountain, whatever, with this innate passion and interest in viewing the moonrise. Met by an old man up there, he begins to flash back into a story from his past. It dabbles into war, which includes American soldiers, children, and is extremely heartfelt. As a whole, this anime is meant to be feel-good and emerge a positive vibration inside of its viewers. It's nowhere near the war story of something like Grave of the Fireflies per se, but it's a cool story for story's sake. The story as a story was interesting. The storytelling itself though felt a little bit short due to lethargic energy in many moments. The saving grace of the anime is indeed its visual aesthetics, both for these very vivid and detailed character designs, and of course the rural Japan location that it was set in. The anime is indeed beautiful, strictly from an art style perspective, and that's what carried my attention through the 40 or so minute duration of the film. Some of these stills look literally frameable, and you wonder what it's like to spend time designing and animating something so gorgeous. For what we know in the anime community commissions little to no pay, and see it never amount to anything that touches a mass or even medium audience, except some dude on the internet 30 years later who, if he's lucky, can expose it to 1,000 or so people. Brief explanation on the old man's tale though. It goes over a brief history timeline of the two world wars and the years in which certain events such as invasions of US into East Asia went down, though I never really cared to fact check if it was actually an alternate take or based on the real history of those wars. I think it's good though. It mentions Pearl Harbor and the Pacific War, as well as other details I, believe it or not, happen to recall from 10th grade history class. But basically following the events of the war, some American planes still loitered around the Japanese mainland, leaving bombings that caused devastation among the Japanese, many of which are young girls working in the mines who had loved ones that ended up casualties of these attacks. It seems like the Americans are evil, right? Until a group of soldiers saved our storyteller from drowning when he was young. And from there, you get a very, very solid connection between the two. And honestly, it kind of reminds me of War in the Pocket, Gundam War in the Pocket, where you have that child and soldier connection, but with a bunch of soldiers this time. And I really, really appreciated it. But anyway, from there, it's a story of friendship and compassion. For real, there is a warm connection that this kid felt between these soldiers until the story reaches towards the end where it recounts the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings. And then it kind of gets weird for a second, or not weird, it kind of gets serious for a second and then comes back to level again. And yeah, I'll let it sit from there. Not too much information exists for this anime beyond the fact that it was written by Takeda Tetsuya. But yeah, this anime has surely fallen deep onto obscurity and for many years sat on the fence of lost media. Again, nothing incredible, but definitely worth giving a look. Technically, this has all the markings of a pretty amazing experience, and it's borderline a hidden gem, especially if you're interested in history. Actually, towards the last 10 minutes or so, things get very deep, as close to Grave of the Fireflies as you're ever going to get from this. And I really felt that ending. I really did. But as a whole, it just needed a little bit of a better execution in terms of storytelling. Yeah. Yo Mex, 1991. Like the video, comment down below what y'all want to see next. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Anime back when.